Dad's got it all figured out.
He cannot prove that Alex broke his mirror. Alex had tire marks on his ankle. He had pain in his knee.
Don't tell me what you suppose, what you think. Don't play CSI with me.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. 22-year-old Zachary Ivy is suing Earl Taylor for the cost to fix his car. Zachary claims Earl's 9-year-old son, Alex, accidentally damaged the vehicle when he was playing in the street.
Order. All rise. This is case number 93 on the calendar, the matter of Ivy versus Taylor.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Ivy, on April 19th of this year, you were delivering pizzas to someone in your own personal vehicle. It is your claim that Mr. Taylor's son, I assume this young man, came into contact with your car.
Correct.
And when he came into contact with your car, the mirror was damaged. You want Mr. Taylor to be responsible for that damage. Mr. Taylor says that you hit his son with your car. He's got a cross complaint for his medical costs, which were nominal because you just took your son in to have him checked. You had an out-of-pocket of $170, which you were prepared to say goodbye to accept that you decided, Mr. Ivy, to sue him. That's what the case is about. You were delivering pizza at what time?
It was about 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Had you ever been to that street before?
Maybe once or twice, yes.
What do you mean maybe once or twice? I want to know, had you ever been to that street before?
I have, yes, ma'am.
To deliver pizza before?
Correct.
Had you ever been to the house that you were going to deliver pizza to?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I want you to tell me what happened. This is a residential block, I assume?
It is correct.
Ma'am.
Oh, he has a picture, so I'll take a look at the picture. Show it to Mr. Ivy, would you, Bird? To see, is that the picture of the street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like to take a look at it. Thank you. Okay.
Ma'am, may I speak?
I don't want you to know. You may not. All I want to see is the kind of street it is so that I can get some idea of what we're talking about. Okay, go.
So I was delivering a pizza on April 18th when there were a lot of children playing in the street when I was approaching the home. I waited for them to clear. As soon as they did, I proceeded to pass. As I was, something thumped into the side of my car. At that point, I look in my rearview mirror, and I see a child running into his house. I was pulling up to the house that I was delivering to. I went ahead and delivered the pizza at that dangling off. I went to the group of children that were still outside. I said...
You can't tell me what any child told you. That's hearsay.
Right. I asked them, did you guys see what just hit my car? They all pointed to the house.
Just a second. That's the same thing as conversation. What they did is hearsay.
Okay.
Okay, so you...
At that point, I went to the home that I saw the boy.
So you didn't know what happened to your car?
Correct.
All you heard was a thud?
Yes.
And?
I went to the home that I saw the child run into. The first thing I said to the defendant was, I'm sure you guys know what just happened. They were very apologetic.
Well, just a second. How would they know?
The child had ran into the house, and it was at that point I assumed the child had ran into the side of my car.
Well, but you don't know what happened, sir. You don't know whether you hit him or he hit you. Clearly, it collided.
No, I was driving, and something ran into the side of my car, and that's when I heard a loud thump on the side of my car.
I gotcha. What you're suggesting is that the child, this child, purposely ran into your car. Is that what
I don't believe it was purposefully.
Well,
I have a statement on the police report from the defendant's son.
Just a second. I would like to see it.
Okay.
I would like to see it. Okay, tell me your first name.
Alex.
Alex. Okay, so first of all, you're not in trouble because whatever happened was an accident, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't mean to damage his car. He didn't mean to hit you. Whatever happened, it was an accident. I gather from what the police said, because you spoke to the police officer, that you and your friends are playing with Nerf guns. What is that?
It's a little toy gun where you have bullets and then you just shoot them like to have a pretend little war.
What are the bullets? Are they spongy? Is that the spongy?
No, they're like, well, they're kind of spongy. Like, I don't know really what to call the material. They're soft, and, you know, they can't really hurt anybody.
How many kids were playing with their Nerf guns?
About 3 or 4. Like 4, yeah.
Do you remember speaking to the police officer?
Kinda. Like, I don't remember exactly what I said.
Why don't you tell me what you remember happened? I've read the police officer's report.
So, we were playing a Nerf war, and my friend didn't have enough bullets for his gun. So I went out into the street. I thought I looked, so I went out, and then a car came. I didn't want to, like, hit somebody with it, like, to go out and, like, if they shouted something. Like,
And why were you looking backwards?
because they were telling me how many bullets to get, and then they said...
Oh, so they were talking to you from the other side of the road?
Yes.
And you were turned around looking at them? Okay, and it was at that point that you collided with his car?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Thank you very much. That's what he said, Mr. Taylor. That's what he said, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what he said to the police. That's what he said to me.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Ivy says he was almost at a standstill when he was driving. Now, I tried driving almost at a standstill 5 miles an hour.
Mr. Taylor, I don't care about what you did.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I don't care what you did.
Okay. Now, if a child was running and hit the side of the car, Alex's injuries would have been to the front of him, not his back. Alex had tire marks on his ankle. He had pain in his knee, and there are bruises were in his back.
Mr. Taylor, your son was looking back at his friend. Just listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't tell me what you suppose, what you think.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't play CSI with me. This is where it would have been. Your son did the right thing.
Yes, ma'am.
He just told me the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
He also told the police the truth, which is commendable. He said, I was looking backward the other way.
Yes, ma'am.
And he collided with the plaintiff's car.
May I speak?
You can say whatever you like,
Okay,
but
yes,
don't
ma'am.
play CSI. And he just told me the truth.
Okay. Can I call a witness so you can tell him what happened? Because what he
Just a second. Were you present and did you see it?
No, but I...
It's not a visual.
I spoke to Mr. Ivy, and there is some inconsistencies in his story.
Listen to me carefully. Who are you?
I'm Alex's mother.
Listen to me. Alex just told me the truth.
I understand that.
Alex just told me the truth of what happened. What happened was, put your hand down. He wasn't looking.
Oh, no, I understand that, and Alex faced consequences for that.
Perfect.
He was grounded for a week, and...
No. It's not. But it was an accident.
Oh, no, I get that. I understand that, but Mr. Ivory here did not stop, and he drove down our street twice. After, do you want me to?
Well, no.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. Ivy, if you tell me that you didn't know what happened, and you delivered the pizza and then you looked, that's what he told me. That's what he told me. Were you there?
I was. When Alex came in the house to me, I went out, I checked him out, made sure he was okay. We went outside to see where the accident happened, and Mr. Ivy drove down in front of our house because the kids were like, that's the car that hit Alex. He stopped at the bottom.
Just a second. Don't tell me what the kids said.
I'm sorry.
You're minimizing what happened. But your son, first of all, don't speak anymore. Your son told the police the truth, and he told me the truth. And what you're trying to do is to foist the problem on Mr. Ivy. He wasn't looking where he was going. He was talking to his friends on the other side of the street. I'm going to tell you something. Put your hand down. You weren't there.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Don't you believe your son?
My hand is up because of what you're supposed to do when you have an accident. You're supposed to stop. Mr. Ivy, he left. He said he immediately turned around and went back up. That's not the truth, ma'am.
So what?
And later today,
We were moving at a pretty good pace with our relationship. It was getting serious.
You mean your relationship that is now 4 weeks?
Yes.
I'm asking
Yes, Your
you.
Honor.
And you're living with your mommy, so you have limited expenses. Anybody else live in the house other than you and your mommy?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Zachary Ivy says 9-year-old Alex Taylor damaged his car while playing in the street. Alex's father, Earl, is countersuing for his son's medical bills.
Okay, don't you believe your son?
That's not what my hand is up for, ma'am.
Yeah, we do.
My hand is up because of what you're supposed to do when you have an accident. You're supposed to stop. Mr. Ivy, he left. He was gone for approximately 10 minutes. Truth, ma'am.
So what?
He cannot prove that Alex broke his mirror. If you look on the photos that I've given you, ma'am, the mirrors collapse if you hit a mirror. They easily collapse.
May I see the estimate to fix the mirror?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $581.29. Alex, good for you. You told the truth. The truth is always always the right answer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That's all. Your counterclaim's dismissed.
What is your excuse? You may step out.
I think Mr. Ivy should be responsible for his mirror, and we should be responsible for Alex's doctor's bill.
Responsibility for your actions, for your children's actions.
Children and drivers should pay attention to one another out on the road.
I'm glad he's okay. No hard feelings.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kawahata versus Layton, step forward.
Cindy Kawahata is suing her ex-boyfriend, Michael Layton, for an unpaid loan to go to truck driving school.
Mr. Layton, what do you do for a living?
I'm a truck driver for a produce company, Your Honor.
When did you start?
I started in March, end of March. March 27, 2015, approximately.
And prior to being a truck driver, what did you do?
I worked for Consolidated Communications. I was an equipment technician, 2 months.
Prior to that, what did you do?
I worked for Oakley.
What is that?
Sunglasses. Oakley Sunglasses.
And how long did you work for them?
6 months.
Prior to that, where did you work?
Prior to that, I was in real estate.
When was the last time you filed tax returns?
Would have been 2014.
How much did you earn on your tax returns?
I don't have that figure in front of me.
Approximately.
Approximately $12,000 for the year.
Who were you living with?
When?
Then, 2014.
With my ex-girlfriend.
From when to when?
From 2012 August till about August of 2014.
And where did you go in August of 2014?
I moved up to Sacramento.
Living with whom?
My mother.
Until when?
I still live with her.
So in August you moved back to live with your mother, and you were earning a nominal amount of money. And in January of this year, you made the acquaintance of the plaintiff on a dating website?
That's correct, Your Honor.
What date in January?
I believe we started talking approximately around the 8th of January.
January 3rd.
Okay, that's when you started talking. And when did you meet the plaintiff for the first time?
Would have been sometime around January 10th. We met pretty quick after we started talking.
January 4th was our first date.
January 4th?
4th, yes.
And did you see each other after that?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
On what date?
I want to say approximately around the 22nd, like the 3rd week in February.
It was actually February 8th.
Did she give you a check?
She wrote me a check, yes.
So it must have been dated. I'm sure she has
Yes.
a copy of it. So is that right?
Yes, I do.
What's the date of the check?
The date of the check is February 8th.
So you know her for 4 weeks, and you take how much money from her?
$1,500.
For what?
What?
For what?
For my truck driving school.
Why?
We had talked about this prior to her writing the check. We were moving at a pretty good pace with our relationship. It was getting serious.
You mean your relationship that is now 4 weeks?
Like I said, it was moving quickly.
I'm just asking you.
Yes.
I'm asking
Yes, Your
you.
Honor.
It's 4 weeks, and you're living with your mommy, so you have limited expenses, and you're making a couple of $100 a week, maybe. What does your mother do?
She is going to school to become a nurse, and she's a caretaker.
What does she do to support herself? She
caretakes.
She takes care of somebody who's incapacitated.
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Anybody else live in the house other than you and your mommy?
My sister.
And how old is your sister?
She's 22.
What does she do?
She goes to school full time.
So you got a mommy that goes to school, a sister who's 22 who goes to school. You want to go to school. Am I getting all this right? You got 3 adults. Everybody's going to school.
Correct.
Great. He takes advantage of people. He thinks he's adorable. There is nothing attractive in me about him at all. Maybe there's something hidden that I don't see, but there is nothing in that look that's, it's not even vulnerable.
No.
It looks like somebody that lives with their mommy.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cindy Kawahata says ex-boyfriend Michael Layton owes for a loan to attend truck driving school. Michael has a countersuit for a broken cell phone and harassment.
Okay. You want to tell me why you gave this person who you met for 4 weeks $1,500?
At the time, we were doing well, and what happened is on February, all along, I knew he was going to go to truck driving school, but I believed he was going to be using his GI Bill to pay for it, and he said he had money saved from leaving his communications job. On February 7th, he left my house, that was a Saturday, and told me he was going to go get ready for school and go to the gym and do different things to be prepared. So that night, he calls me and lets me know that he lost $4,500 gambling at the casino, and that was all of his money. Capital Casino.
Had you ever gone there with him?
I've never actually even heard of Capital Casino. I don't gamble. So, no, I hadn't gone there before with him.
Is it a virtual casino or is
no,
it a
from what
casino
I've
where you
heard,
go and sit?
But, again, I've never been there.
What is it?
I have no idea where she's getting that figure of $4,500. That's not at all what happened, Your Honor. If I may, I went there with a small amount of money looking to make enough to support myself for school because I didn't want to have Cindy
Just a
pay
second.
for it.
So you went to a casino?
Correct.
Okay. You went to a casino with how much money?
At the time, to my name, I had $300.
No. How much money did you take with you to the casino?
The first time I went, $300, Your Honor.
First time you went was what date?
Would have been about a week prior to when she wrote the check. So.
Okay. And so did you make money or did you lose money?
The first couple times I made money, Your Honor, and then ultimately I lost.
Well, then you went back and you lost all the money that you had made?
Within a few days, I'd made close to $1,000, and then I lost it. But we had already talked about an agreement, and she was going to help me with truck driving school before this happened.
Are you working as a truck driver now?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much was the truck driving school?
The truck driving school was $540.
So what did you need $1,500 for?
To support myself to get through school, which was 5 weeks, and also until I would be able to get hired and start making money again.
Is that what he told you?
He needed to pay a car payment and to support himself.
Just a second. Car payment. How much was his car payment?
$420 or $301 or $110. He wrote down three figures, but I...
You're so lucky. Let me tell you why you're lucky.
Okay.
You're lucky because you got rid of him in time.
Yes, I agree.
He takes advantage of people. He thinks he's adorable. There is nothing attractive in me about him at all. Maybe there's something hidden that I don't see, but I will tell you, there is nothing in that look that's, it's not even vulnerable.
No.
It looks like somebody that lives with their mommy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Real Cases, Real People. Judge Judy. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, you have counterclaims, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. You broke up. It was not a nice breakup. You were home with her at her home. You say you left the house. You realized that you had your phone charging in her apartment. You went back and got your phone.
Correct.
And it was damaged.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then she started to harass you. How much after that incident did she start to harass you?
Within about 3 days of our breakup,
okay.
she
What did you
started
do?
calling me.
What did you do?
I had tried to reach her. I wasn't able to get through to her for a few days
How did
about
you
my
try?
phone.
How did what?
This phone still worked.
Then what? Then it still works. Good.
I have a picture of it, Your Honor.
I don't want to see a picture of it. It still works. That's what I couldn't understand. You say she kept calling and harassing you, and I couldn't figure out what was she calling you on if you wanted her to pay for a new phone that she damaged. How could she make all these terrible calls to you, harassing you for money if you didn't have a phone? But evidently your phone works, right? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. Counterclaim is dismissed. Thank you. That's all.
I'll just excuse you may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
A minister is forced to battle his neighbor.
You did, in fact, speak to the police. I just want you to tell me what you told them.
Your Honor, I told them that I think he's a drug dealer.
Next Judge Judy.
I was really down on myself. It was out of character.
I'm very grateful. It's been a difficult last few months.
I live with Mommy.
He was honest about that the very first date, but I didn't hold it against him at the time.
She can go about her life. I can go about my life. Hopefully this is resolved, and that's it.
I'm going to be much more careful and not loan out money to people.
What about your mother?
My mother didn't loan me any money.
This daughter says
She said God gave her this money because he must have known that I was going to need it.
And Mom couldn't say no.
She then again sent me another $1,500. She told me to take my daughter shopping.
Your daughter's 3 years old. What kind of taking her shopping?
I don't see what the joke is.
I see what the joke is.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Alice Kipp is suing her daughter, Camille Gregg, for an unpaid loan so she could fight for custody of her daughter.
Order. All rise. This is case number 181 on the calendar in the matter of Kip versus Greg.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Judge parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Miss Kip, the defendant is your daughter, and it is your claim that you made a loan to her for an attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter says not only was it a loan, it was a gift, and it was actually only a partial gift. You actually promised her more money, so she's got a counterclaim for the rest of the gift. Now, you needed a lawyer for what, Miss Gregg?
I'm dealing with a custody battle with my child's father.
How old is your child?
She's 3.
Who does she live with now?
The father.
Prior to living with her father for the last 8 months, with whom did she reside?
Me.
And when custody was changed to her father, was that after a hearing?
A hearing and trial.
So it was a full trial?
Yes.
And the trial was concluded and the court ordered the child custody transferred to the father?
Yes.
Well, then you're not in the middle of a child custody case anymore. The case is over.
I appealed, so it's still ongoing. I'm also in court. I have another trial coming in September for modification of custody in violation of the court order.
When was the trial?
The full trial was in June.
June of last year?
Yes.
That's when you lost custody?
Right.
And is that what you needed the money for from your mother?
Yes. When I spoke to my mom, I let her know that I was losing custody. I called my mom to let her know what was happening. And that's when she told me, don't get a court-appointed lawyer. I should get a private lawyer. I told her that's going to cost money that I don't have.
Does that conversation sound familiar?
It sounds similar, but not to the full extent. No.
Well, it sounds to me as if something she would say to you.
Yes.
It looks to me as if I might lose custody. I have court-appointed lawyer. She called you.
She actually called me crying and telling me that the court-appointed lawyer wasn't representing her properly, that she needed to get a lawyer, but she didn't have any money.
Okay.
And I told her I would loan her the money.
Is that what she told you?
No. I didn't even ask her for money.
Just a second. Do you work? And how much money do you earn?
I make around $1,400 a month.
And you were aware of that's the kind of work she does, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. And I do not work.
That's not my fault. But she works and she makes $1,400 a month. And up until June of last year, she, I assume, was responsible for both her support and your granddaughters.
Yes.
Right. So you knew she didn't have money to retain a lawyer.
Correct.
Now, you had gotten, according to you, a large settlement.
Yes.
From disability. They had denied you disability for a period of time?
Yes.
And then you appealed that?
Yes.
And the appeal took a little time?
Yes.
And afterwards it went to the appellate level and they said, fine, you should get disability. We're going to give you disability and we're going to give you all your back disability.
Correct.
And how much did you get for your back disability?
$29,619.
How old are you?
53.
When was the last time you worked?
2006.
Who's been supporting you since 2006?
I've been living with my son. He's been paying all the bills, and I had to pay him back after I got my money.
Just a second. You've been living with your son. Does your son live alone?
Yes.
Live in a house or an apartment?
We had an apartment.
The two of you?
The two of us, and for a year, I was raising 4 of my grandchildren.
Who's the mother of those children?
Candace.
That's you. Live.
Florida.
Were you watching the children pursuant to a custody order?
No, it was voluntary.
Who was supporting the children?
Department of Children and Family Services.
So you were receiving money for the 4 children from the Department of Social Services in Florida?
Just food stamps.
So I'm asking you who was supporting the children. You want to get up and tell me who was supporting the children? I worked in family court for
my son
30 years.
Myself and my brother were supporting the children. I was sending my mother money every 2 weeks.
How much money were you sending your mother?
Like $400 every 2 weeks.
From what? Money?
Well, I'm currently in school to get my license as a cosmetologist, but I work in a salon. So the money that I make, I would send half to my mother.
Children back with you now?
Yes.
When did they come back with you?
June of 2014.
So they've been back with you for a year?
Yes. They were only with my mother for a year. They were only
1 year?
They went to stay with my mom for the summer vacation. And school in Florida starts in August, and in New York it starts in September. She decided to put them in school because they were with her for the month of August. And I said, well, since they already started school, let them stay for the school year. That's why they came back to me the following year in June.
Oh, my God.
And you had an arrangement with your mother to send her money every week?
No, I just sent her money.
And she registered the children in school and was receiving just food stamps for them?
Yes.
Or any other cash assistance?
No.
Brother do in Florida?
My brother, I'm not really sure.
What kind of work does your son do?
My son was working for a lawn care service, and that's how he was paying our bills. And my daughter never sent me a dime. My son actually gave me money to send to her. And if I knew I had to prove that, I would have bought the Western Union slips. this case.
So it sounds to me as if your son, without anybody's assistance, doing his lawn care, is taking care of, according to you, 4 children, you, himself, and sending money to his sister.
Yes.
That must be a very big lawn.
Right.
It was, we only had to pay $600 a month rent. And the company he worked for had a large contract. It was called Florida Property Management Lawn Service.
Where are you living now?
I live in Florida with my next to the oldest son.
Why did you move out of the son's house where you were living?
He and his girlfriend, and he has a 6-month-old child, they moved to get an apartment by themselves. And when I had got my settlement, my son that I live with now, we were supposed to get a house together, but that didn't work out because nobody gave me back my money. So he just bought a house, and he said because I let them live with me when I was working, he said he's going to take care of me. And I also have my 8-year-old granddaughter with me, Candace's child.
That child stayed with your mother?
Well, she just recently went back to my mother in December.
Okay, I'm getting the gist of what's going on. So now your daughter calls you crying she's going to lose custody of her child, and you've just received $29,000 that you've been able to live without since 2006 when you stopped working 9 years ago. And you said to her, I can loan you money. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. And she said to you what?
That she would pay me back as soon as she received her income tax return.
So you were expecting a refund?
Yes.
How much of a refund were you expecting?
Well, I was...
How much of a refund were you expecting?
I was expecting maybe only $6,000, and that's what the 2 checks combined.
Okay, now you filed your income tax this year already? Have you received your refund?
I received the first check, not the second one.
How much did you receive?
42, maybe.
What did you do with the money?
I recently moved from one apartment into a house. Me and my partner has taken over the family business, and we had to reconstruct the daycare.
And what about your mother?
My mother didn't loan me any money. She only expected
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
How dare you take money as a gift from somebody who you know doesn't work and go and buy a house?
I didn't buy the house. I moved into the house. The house was already there with the business already constructed.
So then what did you do with the $4,300? You said to me, and my partner moved into a house.
Yes, the house was already there. We just moved into it.
So what did you do?
The backyard, I bought an entire playground. I had to redo the mulch for the playground, and I had to buy things for the daycare.
Can I see a copy of the check you sent to your daughter?
The bank couldn't find it. They could not locate the cashier's check.
Let me see where it came out of the bank. I want to see the date that you paid the lawyer.
Yes, I have that here.
Doesn't say here at all that you paid $5,000. Doesn't say that you withdrew $5,000 to give her.
I withdrew was in 2 payments.
I'm sorry, she never gave me $5,000.
No way.
My mother gave me $3,000.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. That's a lot of baloney.
I made 2 deposits. I made 2 withdrawals.
Then, you want to know something? I'm going to send you back to Florida and wait until they get you the money order so that you can show me, because I don't see it here. You make big withdrawals from this account, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, but this retainer agreement is not for $5,000, which is what you're suing for, and they were asking for only $3,000 at the signing of the agreement, and you have no proof of anything else. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'm glad you understand it.
I do have a witness.
I'm not interested in your witness. I'm interested, when we deal with money, this is what I'm interested in.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I spent the money on my child.
Doing what?
Taking her out. I don't see what the joke is.
I see what the joke is.
I really don't.
Well, I actually do.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alice Kipp says her daughter, Camille Gregg, owes for a loan for attorney fees so she could fight for custody. Camille is countersuing also for attorney fees.
Yeah, the retainer agreement clearly doesn't say $5,000. It says retain you for a flat fee of $4,000, $3,000 to be payable now. And you do have a withdrawal for $3,000, and that's on October 6th.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what your mother sent you?
Yes, she sent me the $3,000.
Where did you come up with the other $1,000 that you were supposed to pay the lawyer?
Me and my partner together. My mother did get the settlement. She was excited about it. She sent me the $3,000. She offered to send that. She said God gave her this money because he must have known that I was going to need it.
You claim you gave your daughter?
I gave her a total of $5,900. Her partner sent me a check for $300, which I cashed. I had $600 on me. I got a cashier check the first time for $3,000 directly deposited into her TD bank account. Then she called me back and said that her lawyer needed more money. I went back to the bank. I took out $2,000. I had $600 already on me. I gave them the $2,610. I directly deposited into her TD bank account.
Okay.
She did send me another $600.
Just a second. You know what? I think that you people need all your records because I'm reading the complaint. And your complaint says that she promised to pay me back with her income tax returns in 2015. At the very least, she would make payments. I went to the bank and got a cashier's check for $3,000, which I deposited into her account, and another $26 later that week because it was more than she thought it was. You say in your answer, I obtained a lawyer with the $6,000 she sent me.
I obtained a lawyer with the money that she sent me. She said she sent $6,000, so $6,000 was the number that was being floated around.
No, not floated. What kind of floated? This isn't a floated. This is an answer. The answer says I obtained a lawyer with the $6,000 she sent me. So my question is, what'd you do with the rest of the money?
My mother. She then again sent me another $1,500. She told me to take my daughter shopping. She told me to make sure I do everything that I can when my daughter is on weekend visits so I can take those receipts to the courts to prove that I'm taking care of my child.
What do you mean take your daughter shopping? Your daughter's 3 years old, and she was living with her father. What kind of taking her shopping?
I didn't spend the entire $1,500 on that.
Well, what'd you spend the money on?
I spent the money on my child.
Doing what?
Taking her out. I don't see what the joke is.
I see what the joke is.
I really don't.
Well, I actually do.
When you live in New York, it's different.
Where do you think I live? Where do you think I grew up?
I know exactly where you grew up, so then you should understand.
So you can't... Listen, when you don't have a child in your custody, then
I don't understand. Why do if I spent the money on whatever I spent it on, what is the problem if she gave it to me?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
How were you supposed to get paid?
That show I wasn't, because for that show, I was promised that there were going to be over 200 people there.
You have proof of that?
Yep.
What is the proof?
The video that
he's going to show me?
Yep.
That there were 200 people there?
Yep.
Okay, let me see it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alice Kipp says her daughter, Camille Gregg, owes for a loan for attorney fees.
Where did you get the $3,000 for the return?
Which was paid to her, to my lawyer.
By whom?
By me.
Great. The retainer agreement provides for $3,000. If your daughter scammed you out of $2,000, that's your problem. That's all that you can marginally prove because that's what she agrees that you sent to her. I don't know how much you sent to her, actually, and I don't know what it was for, but I know one thing, that $3,000 at some point during the month of October was taken out of your account. It doesn't say where it went, doesn't say it was direct deposited someplace else. But she acknowledges that you sent her $3,000 for the lawyer. So that's what I'm going to award you. You have a counterclaim, which is ridiculous. Get a job. Counterclaim is for the rest of the loan that you were supposed to give you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Buddies are excused. You may step out.
If someone gives me money, I can do whatever I want with it. It's my money.
That's how they always see me. Only time I hear from them
If I wanted to get my hair done and buy expensive hair extensions
is when the words, Mom, I need, come out their mouth.
Or buy brand new shoes, I can do whatever I choose with my money.
It's just hurt with the way how my children feel.
I'll hold my mother, get her money, move on with her life.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Correa versus Dennis, step forward.
21-year-old Jason Correa is suing 22-year-old Jeffrey Dennis for breaching their agreement regarding the sale of concert tickets.
Mr. Correa, does your performance fee?
Correct.
How much was he supposed to pay?
He was supposed to pay me $500 in ticket sales.
And on what date was this supposed concert to take place?
December 6, 2014.
Is it the first time that the defendant has performed in one of your venues? When was the first time?
Back on October 17, 2014.
And at that time, how much did he pay you?
He gave me $400.
When did he give you the $400?
The night of the show.
And the $400 was from ticket sales?
Yep.
Okay, so you decided to do the gig again?
Yes.
So the idea was you had to sell so many tickets, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I was supposed to sell so many tickets and I'd be able to perform.
Okay. How do you get paid?
By the ticket sales. You sell a certain amount of tickets, and with the extra tickets, you would get a profit. It was a total of 30 tickets. There were 25 tickets that we sold. With the extra 5 tickets, we would get the extra 5 tickets if we sold. We would get in profit.
So you would get $100?
Yes, roughly.
And this gig on December 6th, was that the same arrangement?
It was supposed to be the same arrangement.
Okay. Well, when you first decided to do it, it was supposed to be the same arrangement. You were going to sell tickets. How many were you supposed to sell?
25.
And how many did you get to keep for yourself?
None.
I mean, how were you supposed to get paid?
That show I wasn't to, because for that show, I was promised that there were going to be over 200 people there.
As far as fee?
No, ma'am.
For that show. Is that right?
Yes.
The only thing was you were supposed to sell 25 tickets and give the money, which was $500.
Yes, ma'am.
To the plaintiff. Okay. And the expectation was that there would be as many people there as there were in October.
Yes.
How many people were there in October?
In October, there was anywhere from 200 to 300 people.
How many performing acts were there?
10 to 12.
Okay. Now, I assume since we have our monitor here, someone is prepared to show me how many people showed up for the event.
I am. I have a DVD
How
right
many
here.
people do you say showed up for the event, sir?
Roughly 200.
You have proof of that?
There is proof, yes.
What is the proof?
The video that
he's going to show me?
Yep.
That there were 200 people there?
Yep.
Okay, let me see it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by...
There's only one egg that just tastes better, with more vitamins and 25% less saturated fat. Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Abdominal pain, bloating? You may have IBS. Ask your doctor if new non-prescription IB Guard is right for you. IB Guard calms the angry gut. Available at CVS and Walgreens.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. JudgeJudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay. That if there were, he says there were 20 or 30 people there.
There was no more.
Shh. That there were 20 or 30 people there, that he shouldn't owe you anything, right?
Yeah. Yes,
perfect. Good. So this is going to be easy.
As you can see right there, Your Honor, there's anywhere from, like I'm saying, 20 to 30 people sitting right there in the front right there.
It looks like a
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the 200 that he's saying that there are.
Well, it's not 200, but it's certainly more than 20.
And this video was also videotaped throughout the night.
Just a second. Well, there were certainly more than 20 or 30. Why didn't you sell any tickets?
I sold my tickets.
Just a second. So you sold your 25 tickets. When you sell, somebody gives you money.
Yes.
How much money did you get?
Out of those 25 tickets, I made $400.
Well, how much was each ticket?
Each ticket was $20.
Well, that's $500.
And it was $500. I sold 25 tickets, and whatever the profit from the total from
what
that.
What kind of profit?
There was no profit. I'm saying that's what I got. Was that?
Just a second. So you sold 25 tickets.
I sold 25 tickets.
And
yes.
That's what he's suing for.
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is our excuse and they step out.
And on the next Judge Judy.
She's a good girl when she's not on drugs.
A boyfriend gives up.
You have a problem with prescription drugs?
I did. I'll admit I did.
She runs from everything she has to do.
You know that, huh?
Shh.
Next Judge Judy.
I was promised well over 200, 300 people there.
He didn't sell his tickets. I know he didn't.
For the act that I know I'm well worth of giving.
Everyone else was fine with it. Everyone was happy with the outcome.
And I didn't even get that. There was 20 to 30 people there.
It was a good show. If you saw the video, the fans were into it.
20 to 30 people, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you $500 to perform.
I don't know why he's saying he didn't have a good time, because he looked like he had a good time in the video, I mean.
And give you this ticket money if I'm not going to get what you promised me.
He had his hands in the air, the crowd had their hands in the air, so.
What he's saying is not true.
I don't know what he was talking about.
Not do business with him.
He's never invited into my shows again.
Are you an ordained minister?
Yes, ma'am.
A church is forced to battle their neighbor.
I have 2 suites. She has 1.
You have a beauty shop.
Yes, ma'am.
After she brought a fight to him.
You did, in fact, speak to the police. I just want you to tell me what you told them.
I've had a lot of issues with the parking lot. Honor.
I asked you what you told them.
Your Honor, I told them that I think he's a drug dealer.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Pastor Jameel Bryant is suing Renee McIntyre for causing his church to lose funding due to slander and harassment.
Order. All rise.
This is case number 168 on the calendar, the matter of Bryant versus McIntyre.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Bryant, are you a minister, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
In what church?
The Help Center in Graham, North Carolina.
What is that?
It's a ministry. It stands for Healing, Empowerment, Love, and Prayer, where we help different people in the community. That's why we call it the Help Center.
Are you an ordained minister?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to school?
Yes, I did. Horizon Bible College in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And you have a facility that you work out of?
Yes, ma'am. I have several.
How many do you have?
I have one in Graham, North Carolina. Then I have one in Henderson, North Carolina. And then I have different help locations that we have in Graham.
Okay. Now, where is the facility located where you are having this problem with the defendant?
It is in Graham.
What does it look like? What kind of structure is it?
It is several buildings connected together. I have 2 other units. She has 1.
Is it in a shopping center?
It's not in a shopping center.
So there are just 3 units. You have 2. Is it a store?
It's
because you have a beauty shop.
Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 suites. She has 1, and then there are 3 other spaces next to us.
But they're all ground level?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there are stores. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So there are 6 altogether?
Yes, I guess 6. Yes.
No, Your Honor. He has one lot that's on the first one, and then I've got the one next to him, and then the 3 he's talking about on down. That's another help church.
That's another help church, not his.
It's not a church.
Your Honor.
It's just a ministry. It's just a food ministry.
So the one that he has is right next to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And when did that open?
About 4 months ago.
How long have you been there?
This coming February will make 2 years.
Does everyone share a common parking area in front or in back?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is what the case is about. It is your claim, Mr. Bryant, that because of Miss McIntyre's actions, which were spiteful, malicious, and not based on any fact, you were denied funding, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
For a summer project that you were trying to get funding. Tyre says she merely relayed what she saw to the authorities, and she's counterclaiming because she says because of the activities that have gone on since you moved in, she's lost business. That's her counterclaim.
Okay.
Are we together on what
Yes,
this
Your
is
Honor.
about? Okay. So, Mr. Bryant, let's go back a moment. You've been there for 4 months, and what you wanted to do was to do a summer camp for children ages what to what?
From ages 4 to 16. We have a church. This will be our 3rd year doing our summer camp.
I didn't ask you whether you saw any flyers.
Your Honor.
Just a second.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I may have misread. Well, you say here in May of 2015, the police showed up at my hair salon and were asking me questions about the church next door. I told them what I had seen. So you did, in fact, speak to the police. That's what I asked you.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I did.
Right. And what did you tell them?
I just told him, they started asking me questions about the church, so I just told him, what I've witnessed.
I just want you to tell me what you told them.
I've had a lot of issues with the parking lot. I've had
You said, I think he's a drug dealer. Now, I want you to tell me, Miss McIntyre, because even police wouldn't be ridiculous about that. They'd say, like, I'm looking at you and saying, on what do you... you're not following me, madam.
I'm sorry,
You think
Your
you're going to get over on me? This is not happening.
Your Honor, I'm not trying to get
asking
over on
you
you.
a question.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This is nothing. It's blank.
They said they couldn't give me...
Well, I don't want you to tell me what they said. It really isn't here, so you don't have that memorialized in a police report.
They couldn't give...
Don't tell me what they couldn't.
Okay.
What they couldn't calls for the operation of their head.
And later today...
Did you ever report your wallet stolen?
No, but my ID's been missing for a few months.
Really? Did you report that missing?
No money was stolen. It's just my ID. I figured I left it somewhere.
Are you out of your mind?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Pastor Jameel Bryant says he lost church funding when neighbor Renee McIntyre accused him of being a drug dealer. Renee is countersuing for lost wages.
Now, if I accuse somebody of being a drug dealer, there would have to be something that I witnessed, something that you clearly must have memorialized to the police, because he has the police report. So you must have told them something that you saw.
No, just what I've been seeing in the parking lot, the cars that come in, you know, the boys don't even park their car. One sits in the, and then they're in the church for a few minutes. I mean, it's a lot of traffic.
May I see the police report, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Jesus. Here we go. And I can, okay.
This is nothing. It's blank.
They said they couldn't give me...
Well, I don't want you to tell me what they said.
Okay.
I just want you to see if they memorialized, which I don't even need anymore, because she thought that it was actually here, so she confessed to the fact that she told them that she thought that you were a drug dealer. It really isn't here, so you don't have that memorialized in a police report.
They couldn't give... They
Don't
gave me
tell
the
me
name.
what they couldn't.
Okay.
What they couldn't calls for the operation of their head, which you can't tell me.
Okay.
All I asked you was, do you have a copy of what she told the police?
Oh, no, not what she hoped. That's me going to file it.
Just a second.
Okay.
That's all I asked you. But she's already acknowledged that that's what she told the police, that she thought you were a drug dealer based on nothing. Now, when were you notified that you were being denied the grant for the church?
I was notified on May 26th.
May I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this couldn't be more clear. We're writing this letter to inform you that even though the allegations may or may not be true, unfortunately, we do not want to take the risk of funding your program at this time. The allegations state that your religious organization is smuggling drugs as well as other illegal drug activities and operating an illegal daycare. These allegations were brought to our attention by Renee McIntyre of Salon Envoy. As we spoke, we were willing to fund your summer program of $5,000 because we thought it was an exceptional asset to our community. Unfortunately, as we stated earlier, we do not support such activities and do not have the proper resources to investigate these allegations. Okay. Anything else anybody want to tell me? You say, no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Anything else you want to tell me?
No, Your Honor.
Great. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Your counterclaim is for lost wages, for inconvenience to your clients. I think you're a bad lady. I'm willing to tell you I think you're a bad lady. I think you're a bad lady because what annoyed you was parking. What annoyed you was what goes on with the church, what goes on with maybe poor people coming to the church. It was annoying to you, so you made up these allegations, and as a result of your making up these allegations, he lost his funding, which is what he's suing for, $5,000. And that, madam, is what you're going to give him. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused and they step out.
It is.
One is of the lady.
He's the one got to answer to God above. God knows I'm right.
She said that God sees everything. Yes, he sees everything. He knows everything. And apparently Judge Judy saw it too.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Price Fisher versus Ellis. Step forward.
Viola Price and her boyfriend, Troy Fisher, are suing Michael Ellis for illegally cashing a lost money order.
You are?
Viola.
Last name?
Price.
And?
I'm Troy Fisher.
You live together?
Yes, ma'am.
You went to Walmart to do some shopping, and among other things, you purchased a money order at Walmart.
Yes.
And that you, according to your complaint, you were going to use for rent. You placed the money order in a wallet. Whose wallet?
It was mine.
And when you got home, or I assume when you got home, you found your wallet was missing.
Well, yeah.
On the way home? On the way home.
We noticed it was missing.
What made you note it was missing on the way home?
We stopped at a convenience store to get a soda.
And you didn't have your wallet?
Right.
You don't know what happened to your wallet, but you remembered that you had purchased the money order at Walmart and still had the receipt.
Right.
May I see that receipt?
Yes. It's kind of hard to read, but it's got...
And then, yes, okay. And it was purchased, as I said, for your rent.
Right.
So you called Walmart to tell them that your wallet was either stolen or lost.
We went right back to Walmart.
On the same day, on the 30th?
Within 15 minutes.
And the money order had already been cashed?
Not that day.
Not that day?
Not that day.
Interesting.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't have a driver's license. It's a personal ID.
You've never had a driver's license?
I have had one in the past.
When in the past?
From age 16 to age 37.
How old are you now?
38.
Oh, Mr. Ellis, I'm not liking you at all.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Viola Price and boyfriend Troy Fisher claim Michael Ellis illegally cashed a lost money order. Michael denies the charge.
Go ahead.
It was cashed the next morning.
Why didn't you put a stop on it? Was there a way?
We tried to. We tried to talk to Walmart and told them that we lost it. And they said there was nothing they could do. They gave us a paper to send to the MoneyGram so that they could send us a copy.
Of who cashed it?
Of who cashed it.
And did you do that?
Yes, we did.
And it is your claim that the person who cashed that is the defendant.
Right.
Know about a wallet. So your burden is to show me that he was the one who cashed the money.
We have a video of that.
You do?
Yes.
From Walmart?
From Walmart.
Have you seen the video, sir?
No, I haven't, Your Honor.
Were you in Walmart on
No.
April... Listen to me.
Sorry.
Were you at Walmart on April 30th?
No.
You weren't there. When were you contacted and told that someone was accusing you of either stealing their wallet or finding their wallet and cashing the money order?
I was never contacted by anyone personally. I heard about it through word of mouth.
What do you mean through word of mouth? What does that mean?
These two gentlemen, my witnesses, heard about it and then retrieved the message to me.
Heard about it how? Who heard it?
Jeff Sidbeck.
Who heard it? Nobody?
My neighbors.
How did you find out the defendant's name, Ms. Price?
Through Facebook.
Really? Tell me how you did that.
Well, when we got the copy of the money order back with his name on it.
It had his name on it?
Right.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I do.
I'd love to look at it. How did you make out that this was Ellis?
By just looking over it a lot, and you can see that the I and the S are sort of...
Back to you in two.
Oh, there's a driver's license
Yes,
number.
it's on the other side.
And it traces to him. That's how they figured it out. The person who cashed this had to have a driver's license because there's a number on here.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay. Did you ever report your wallet stolen?
No. No, I haven't, but my ID's been missing for a few months.
Really? Did you report that missing?
No, no money was stolen. It's just my ID. I figured I left it somewhere.
Are you out of your mind? Do you drive a car?
No.
What do you have a driver's license for?
I don't have a driver's license. It's a personal ID.
You've never had a driver's license?
I have had one in the past.
When in the past?
From age 16 to age 37.
How old are you now?
38.
Oh, Mr. Ellis, I'm not liking you at all. Now I'd like to see the video. What do you do for a living, Mr. Ellis?
I'm a plumber.
Who are these two people?
This is one of my witnesses here, Jeff.
I know that they're a witness. No, nobody wanted to raise their hand before. Who are you?
I'm his cousin.
And who are you?
His friend.
You weren't in Walmart on the 30th of... Somebody stole your name, your driver's license number. I don't know if you can, but I can't tell the face of the person. It goes under the category, but it's possible that it's you.
No, it isn't, Your Honor.
No?
No.
Why is it not possible that it's you, sir?
Because I was not at Walmart that day.
You want me to believe that somebody used your identification, your name, and cashed this check?
That's what I want you to believe, and that's what the truth is, because I've never been accused of stealing in my life.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
The kid was flunking out of school. Just take away her phone.
My daughter said that her dad had put the phone on the floor and stepped on it.
Take away her phone, take away her car, take away her computer.
Judge Judy.
Well, it's false, totally false.
I am just happy we got our money back.
The person in the video was not even close to resembling me.
It showed that he did it.
Falsely accused.
Be a good person.
I cared for her in the past. She's a good girl when she's not on drugs.
A boyfriend gives up.
You have a problem with prescription drugs?
I did. I'll admit I did.
After his ex battles more than just her demons.
She slapped you.
She smacked me, yes, correct. She has warrants for her arrest, and she was scared about being in trouble for hitting me. She runs from everything she has to do. She never faces up to anything.
You know that, huh?
Shh. Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Jason Sensoli is suing his ex-girlfriend, Hannah O'Brien, for having him falsely arrested for assault. Hannah claims Jason hit her and threw her from a moving vehicle.
Order. All rise. This is case number 190 on the calendar in the matter of Sensoli versus O'Brien. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Sensoli, it is your claim that the defendant, who was your girlfriend for a period of time, had you falsely arrested for assault.
Correct.
And she had you arrested on what date, sir?
It was the 5th of October.
When was the incident that she's alleging resulted in her assault?
October 5th, 2013.
Same day?
Correct. October 31st.
Of what year?
2013.
So what took you so long to get here?
I couldn't contact her. I tried and I just couldn't find her.
Well,
I don't know if she was hiding out. I don't know, Your Honor. I tried. She lived with her father and her grandfather and her uncle at the time. And
just in 2013, Miss O'Brien, where was your father living?
Royal Oak, Michigan.
And where were you living in 2013?
I was living there. I did leave for Florida for quite a while. Part of me was running. I was scared of him.
What were you doing in October of 2013? Going to school, working? What were you doing?
I was in between jobs, I think, at that exact point.
At that exact point, in October of 2013?
Right, like when everything actually happened, yeah.
And where were you living in October of 2013?
With my dad.
When did you move from your dad's house? What month and year?
I apologize. I was living in Ohio at that time. I apologize.
In October of 2013, you were living in Ohio?
Correct.
With whom?
An ex-boyfriend.
And where were you living the following summer, 2014, July, August 2014,
Florida.
in Florida? With?
My great aunt and her friend.
Okay, so this case was over, and clearly she moves around a lot. So if you were trying to reach her, you might not have been able to reach her. I don't know. Now, I would like you to tell me, Ms. 13.
Well, I got a call from her. She was breaking up with her boyfriend in Ohio. She gave me a sob story about how much she's changed. She needed a ride. She had to get out of there. You know, I cared for her in the past. She's a good girl when she's not on drugs. I gave her the benefit of doubt. Thought, you know, maybe she can show me that she's changed and better.
Okay.
So I picked her up.
From?
Ohio.
To drive her to where?
We went out to a hotel near Fowlerville in Howell, Michigan, and stayed one night, and she seemed like she was doing better. So the following night, we went back to my house, and that's when it all just started again.
What all started again?
Her drug use, staying up all night.
What kind of drugs does she use?
Prescription Adderall.
Did you discuss it with her?
Yes, many times.
What did she say to you?
Give me a chance, I'll show you I'm better. Same thing she's been saying.
For years?
Ever since I've known her, correct.
So tell me about this incident that resulted in your arrest.
Well, we were out of my house. She was there for a few nights, and she didn't sleep. You know, I'd go to bed at night, I'd wake up, she'd still be in the same spot in front of the computer. Like, I would notice that she was snooping around in medicine cabinets, just anything. And finally, I just told her I had enough. Like, you need to go, you need to call your father. I'll drive you to the exit in Fowlerville. Like, you just got to get out of here. I can't handle this anymore. And as I'm driving her there...
Driving her to where?
The exit where we're meeting her father.
Did she call her father?
Yes, her father was on the way out.
Okay, go ahead.
And on the ride there, I just told her again, like, this is it. Like, I'm done with you. She got upset, started crying. She smacked me. And I told her, you know, you can't do that. I'm calling the police. She had warrants for arrest. As soon as I went to grab my phone...
Just a second. You're talking too fast now.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
The last thing I heard before you started to move quickly was she slapped you.
She smacked me, yes, correct.
Where?
In the face.
And you said?
I'm going to call the police. You cannot...
do that?
Yes.
What happened next?
Then I grabbed my phone to call the police, and she smacked it out of my hand instantly because she has warrants for her arrest, and she was scared about being in trouble for hitting me.
Warrants for what?
I do not know. I know she still has warrants to this day. She runs from everything she has to do. She never faces up to anything.
You know that, huh?
Shh. So what happened, sir?
She tried to jump out of my car after that because she was afraid, I'm assuming, that I was going to call the police and she was going to go to jail. Well, as she tried to get out of my car, I slowed down. She got out. She grabbed my phone. She threw it. I had other papers in my car. She threw those too. I got out, picked up my stuff, drove home. As I'm driving home, about maybe 5 minutes later, I get a text saying, you shouldn't hit women. You're a woman beater. So at that point, I figured I need to call the police and let them know what really happened. So I called the police, told them. They said, okay, do you mind if we come out and get your statement? I said, of course. I had nothing to worry about. Well, as soon as I got there, I got arrested instantly when I walked out.
As soon as you got...
And they arrested me right away.
Okay. Can I see the paperwork that you filed with the police, Miss O'Brien?
That I filed?
Yeah.
I don't have... Like, I figured he's suing me. I figured he would get the police report, but he obviously didn't want that to be shown, so...
I have a disposition saying...
May I see it, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to go very slowly, Miss O'Brien.
Yes.
I want you to tell me exactly what happened on October 5th, 2013.
Okay. On that date, I'm sorry, I just wanted to tell you that I, first of all, was not the one that contacted him to come give me a ride from Ohio. He contacted me, so I just wanted to let you know that. But on October 5th, we were fighting because he didn't have, I was taking Adderall at the time. He wanted it. He wanted me to give him my prescription medication, which he didn't have a prescription for. I didn't think that was... I didn't want to do that. First of all, I didn't want to get in trouble. That's illegal. Second of all, why would I?
Just tell me what happened on October 5th.
Okay, so we were fighting about that, and he decides, well, I'm going to take you home. This is it, whatever. And we're going to go meet up with my dad.
Did you call your father?
Yeah, we were going to meet him at, the McDonald's down the road. And we get in the car, and he's flipping out on the fact that I won't give him my prescription medication. Flipping out to death. Hunched up in the corner against the car door. And he hits me. Okay, I don't know where any of me slapping him came from, but he hits me. I opened the car door because I was scared. I don't know why I opened the car door. He shoved me out of the car door. He shoved me out. My foot was stuck. He continues to go as my foot's stuck, and I'm being dragged down a gravel road and throws my stuff out of the car. I finally get unstuck, and this couple sees everything that happened, and they come over and they call the cops for me.
Photographs of your injuries? The answer is either yes or no.
I don't have them with me, no.
Do you have any medical reports?
Not with me, no.
Well, where did you think you were coming today?
Honestly, I tried to get the information. I figured that since he was suing me, he would have the police report.
I have the police report, madam. I asked you where your photographs were.
I'm sorry.
Where your photographs were and where your medical records were.
I thought that the photographs would be with the police report and the medical records. They're in archives.
Where are you working now? It's not an answer.
Sorry, I just got a new job at Mr. B's downtown Royal Oak. It's a restaurant bar.
When did you start?
I haven't started yet.
So the answer is you're unemployed.
Yes.
I want to know when the last time was that you worked.
A couple weeks ago.
Where?
O'Toole's. It's a bar.
And how long did you work at O'Toole's?
A few months.
How many?
June.
What happened to that job?
I had a family incident, and I had to take some time off. When I came back, they just didn't have many hours for me. I found a job at Mr. B's. I figured just take the job there.
You have a problem with prescription drugs?
I did. I'll admit I did.
I didn't ask you, did you?
Oh, no.
I didn't ask, did you? I said, do you?
No.
Now, you called the police. They responded. You said he assaulted you. Were you in touch with the district attorney?
No.
Well, the police asked you for your information, where you live, what your phone number is. You now had your phone back. Why didn't you show up?
Honestly, I was scared. Right. I was scared to death. I have many threats from him.
Show me. Show me. I really want to see them.
I really wish I had them all together. But I'll find something.
Just a second. This is where you're coming. You're coming to court.
I know I wasn't prepared, and I apologize. I honestly was...
You want to show me where you said he constantly threatens you, which is why you were scared, which is why you didn't go to court.
Yeah, I mean, just up until, yesterday I was getting emails from him.
Well, just show me.
All right. These are just, saying how he's going to make me look dumb on TV and all this stuff. I can't find...
Please?
I guess I don't have anything available right now.
Your Honor.
What?
I have proof from her, actually. She's not scared of me. She's offering money for me to come see her. Calling me babe and...
I'll admit, obviously, I got myself into this situation because obviously I loved you at some point. Obviously, I kept falling for your games and your tricks and your...
Just a second, this was last month.
Yeah. Once again.
How long did you spend in jail?
2 nights, 3 days.
You better start working at that bar. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Nobody knows what really happened. He always gets away with everything, and he's never going to stop.
I'm satisfied. The truth came out.
Yeah, he's obsessed with himself, and he'll do anything to just hurt people.
It's been horrible. It's been horrible. I'm so glad it's over with.
It's really not fair that he got to win that.
Just do anything she could do to ruin my life, to be honest with you.
I wasn't prepared today. I didn't have anything together.
I just actually wanted to get my money that I felt like I was owed.
So he's lucky. He's just lucky.
Stay away from him. I don't know.
It's time to move on.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ortega versus Andrade, step forward.
20-year-old Jessica Ortega is suing Julissa Andrade and her sister Jessica for car repair.
Each one of you claimed that the other is responsible for an automobile accident that happened. I assume somebody's going to tell me in this area. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. When did it happen, Miss Ortega?
It occurred April 23rd, 2015.
What time?
In the morning, 7:30.
Who was driving?
I was.
And you
Julissa.
live in that area?
Yes.
Whose car is it?
Mine.
That's why you're here?
Yes.
Well, you could sit down for a minute because you weren't present when this happened.
No.
And she had permission to drive your car? Okay, fine. Oh, is your car insured?
Yes.
Was it insured on April 23rd?
It was insured under her name, Julissa.
You're the car owner?
Yeah.
How was it insured under her name?
Because I gave it to her. I live across the street, so I gave it to her. So she has to go to school, so I let her borrow it.
Oh, I'm getting
Your
a
Honor, I
bad
have
Just a
proof.
second. I'm getting a bad feeling here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What you tried to do was pull a fast one on me by giving me the month before in a different amount for I don't know what car.
Well, it's automatic
from
payments.
March.
It's
well, who
automatic
knows how many cars you have? You're a liar.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jessica Ortega claims fellow motorist Julissa Andrade is at fault for an accident in an alley for damages to their car.
Now, in whose name is the car?
Mine.
Not in hers?
No.
Are you related to each other?
Yes.
How?
Sisters.
Okay, so the car is in your name. I want to see proof of insurance on the car on April 23rd, 2015. What is this?
Oh, that's the statement where they take my money out.
For what?
For the insurance payment.
The insurance payment is $86.
They took it exactly. They take out $111. I've been having an issue with that insurance.
May I please see the payment in April?
I don't have that statement.
Well, what did you bring me the payment that's not important for?
I just realized that when I walked in, it wasn't the April one. It was the month before. They take it out. I gave you the
I know what you gave me.
The bill where they automatic payments out.
I want to know what you gave me. Was her car insured?
No, I have proof.
May I see it, please? Yeah. We have completed our investigation on the information you provided. Our records reveal and confirm that the auto policy, therefore, we will not be able to consider any claim for damages.
Exactly.
What are you trying to give me? I mean, it's just so annoying.
Ma'am, it shows there that they're supposed to be taking automatic payments.
Don't tell me what they're supposed to be doing. You had no insurance at the time of the accident on your car.
And I also did not find out until I actually called to make the claim.
Who cares? Do I care? You had no insurance. Now, we come to your side. Did you have insurance?
Yes.
I want to see proof of the insurance.
I have this insurance card.
Right. That's proof of insurance. Now, I want to see, since you claim that the accident was her fault, I want to see the claim that you put into her insurance.
I don't have that. I just
Well,
called them.
just a second. If you had an accident and you said it was her fault, what you would do is you would say you exchanged information.
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
Because I see that you exchanged information. Then the next thing you would do is notify
my insurance and hers.
Her insurance.
Her insurance. I did call her insurance.
Just I want to see the letter.
Oh, I don't have that letter.
You don't have a lot.
I don't have that letter.
You don't have a lot. Did you have a stop sign on your street?
No, I have the right of way.
And there was a stop sign on her street?
Yes, right here.
Right there. Do you have a stop sign?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jessica Ortega claims fellow motorist Julissa Andrade is at fault for an accident in an alley. Julissa and her sister Jessica are countersuing for damages to their car.
So you have no insurance, and you have no proof that you contacted her insurance company to file a claim against her for damaging your car. That's what I have so far. And you gave me a lot of baloney stuff here because you knew very well when you handed me this stuff that you had no insurance on April 23rd. What you tried to do was pull a fast one on me by giving me the month before in a different amount for I don't know what car, because the amount is different, not 86. Well, they take out 111 instead of 86.
Well, it's automatic payments.
March.
It's
well, who knows
payments.
How many cars you have? You're a liar.
I only have one car.
Oh, just a second.
And it's not even
just
mine,
a second.
it's hers.
I don't know that. All I know is you knew at the time you handed me this stuff. When I asked you a question, if you had insurance, you said yes, and you knew that you didn't.
Well, I didn't find out till that day.
23rd, 2015, did you have insurance on the car? You said yes. That's what it says. Now, go over there. Is what you're telling me she didn't stop at a stop sign?
Yes, she didn't. She was going this way because she was going to the shopping center that's on this side. And she was in the left lane. I stopped. I was hit twice right here and then right here with her back tire. I have a picture of my bumper stuck in her tire. She claims that I pushed her over here.
All I want to know is, did you have a stop sign on your street?
No, I have the right of way.
And there was a stop sign on her street?
Yes, right here.
Right there. You don't happen to have a photograph of that, do you?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
Right here.
Okay. Do you have a stop sign?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, do you have a stop sign?
Yes, I have the stop sign, and I also have the angle of where that stop sign stays, where car's coming.
Good. How much is it going to cost to fix your car?
To fix it, there's motor damage and bodily injury.
Yeah. But, Your Honor, I don't know what car we're going to fix. She told me she salvaged her car and gave it to her insurance.
That's okay. She had a car before you hit her.
Yeah.
She had a car before you hit her. She was driving a car before you hit her. She has a loss if she has to salvage the car. I'll figure out what you're going to pay her, but you're going to pay her. Okay. Did you salvage the car?
No, I have the title right here.
So you have the car?
Yes.
The car is where?
In my residence.
So you lied.
Okay.
I didn't lie.
You told me on the phone that you salvaged the car.
Okay. You have photographs of your car?
Yes.
Bird, would you look up this car, please? It's an Audi, what kind?
A 2.8.
A4 Quattro, four-door sedan. Bird.
$29.75.
$29.75.
Right.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $29.75. That's all. Thank you.
Why does that excuse me? Step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Me of a bar brawl.
He made a fist and cocked back, and when he did, I just hit him.
The co-owner of the bar said that you got what was coming to you.
Judge Judy.
Plaintiff, she was at fault. She's just trying to take advantage of the fact that
she hit me. She was driving on a suspended license.
Supposedly might have insurance, but...
And she had no insurance.
And not even the officer took me in, or no license. The officer didn't take me in.
But the officer didn't write that in the report.
But that's not the point. The point is she's trying to take advantage, and...
I honestly don't know. He was lazy, I believe.
Yeah, I plead the fifth.
To have insurance and to make sure you make your payments before you go off driving.
Parenting skills left a great deal to be desired.
A reward for his girlfriend's daughter.
The kid was flunking out of school. Just take away her phone.
I'd been buying her phones for a number of years.
But the rules are different at Dad's house.
Almost immediately, I took the phone away.
My daughter said that her dad had put the phone on the floor and stepped on it.
Take away her phone, take away her car, take away her computer.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. Dean Crutchfield is suing his stepdaughter's father, Timothy Kerrigan, for the value of 2 cell phones and emotional distress.
Order. All rise.
This is case number 145 on the calendar, the matter of Crutchfield versus Kerrigan.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat.
Mr. Crutchfield, how long have you been married to your present wife?
April 2013, or rather 2003, but we are divorced. We're just common law, considered under the law, sir. We are divorced.
There's no common law marriage anywhere, Mr. Crutchfield. So, when were you divorced?
We were divorced April 2005.
Why?
I see irreconcilable differences. I was...
Give me a reason, Mr. Crutchfield.
I don't know what the reason in her mind was, sir.
No, give me a reason that I'm going to understand.
Most likely be discernible as I could not stay sober at that time.
Well, but now you've been together because you say you live in common law, which means that you live together. You mean you could stay sober if you're divorced, but you can't stay sober if you're married?
No, sir. No, ma'am. Not at all. I finally hit my rock bottom when I lost my family, and at that date, Mother's Day 2005, haven't had a drop of liquor since.
So then, why didn't you remarry?
Water under the bridge, Your Honor.
Water under the bridge.
Fell out of love, I guess.
Okay. This is what the lady that you live with has a daughter with this gentleman. You were married?
Yes.
And when were you divorced?
It would have been 2002.
And you have 1 child?
Correct.
And at the time of the divorce in 2002, how old was your daughter?
My daughter was 4 years old.
Who had custody of her?
I did.
For how long?
Until she was in 4th grade. The custody order changed at that point.
And why was that?
I was living in New Braunfels, moved up there for a job, and she agreed to let me and my daughter move up there for that job. And then I got a letter from an attorney saying I moved illegally over 100 miles away. And my daughter wanted to go live with her, so I let her go live with her.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Shh. Don't interrupt. So at that point, your daughter went to live with her mother.
Correct.
And at that point, her boyfriend.
Yes.
Now, did there come a time when your daughter came back to live with you?
Yes.
When?
In 8th grade, she was missing a lot of school, and she was basically going to flunk out. And I took over custody of her, and she did. She excelled and did very, very well.
And then she went back to her mother?
I'm a little more strict.
She went back to her mother?
Right.
And then there was a time when she came back to live with you?
My daughter called me at school. She was going to high school, and unfortunately, they were getting ready to ask her to leave.
Okay. Stand up, please. Your last name is?
Kerrigan.
Why were they asking your daughter to leave school?
She was skipping a lot of school. I was not made aware of it.
That's being true. And how many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
17 and 27.
So the 27-year-old is no longer your responsibility?
No.
Good. So you have 1 child. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to know whether that child is missing school.
Well, yes.
You're supposed to know.
I'm supposed to know. They never called me.
It's not somebody else's fault.
Okay.
It's your fault. You have a 17-year-old child that gets report cards every quarter.
They actually call. I'm sorry.
It's every quarter. And the report cards, they have to be signed. And if your daughter is forging your signature, you're supposed to be together enough to know, gee, I haven't seen a report card this quarter. Both of you. Because according to your complaint, you were like her father. You call her daughter.
Correct.
Okay. Now, this is what the case is about. Child was with you. And against his wishes, you purchased a phone for her. And he didn't let her have a phone. And according to you, he either broke or dismantled the phone. So far, is that the general theme of your case?
Not actually, Your Honor.
Well, why don't you tell me about it?
I'd been buying her phones for a number of years.
I don't care whether you've been buying her phones. Right now, she is
do.
not in your house. She's in her father's house.
No, she was not.
He's telling me that at the time you purchased this phone and gave it to her, because I read your complaint, she was not living with her father?
That is correct. She was in our home.
So you purchased a phone for her when?
November 2014.
And when did she go to her father's house?
She went to her father's house when I had surgery in January
of
2015. He doesn't have dates right at all, sir, ma'am.
It's okay.
And he's lying about a few other matters as well.
Let me tell you what he's not lying about. He's not lying about the fact that at some point he did not want his daughter to have a phone because she was flunking out of school. The reason she was flunking out of school, according to her mother, was because she was truant. There were probably a lot of other reasons that she was flunking out of school. She was flunking out of school because if you don't go to school, you fail. Now, when your daughter came to you in January, did she have a phone with her?
Okay.
I don't like fumfering. My question was a simple one. Did you tell Mr. Crutchfield?
Yes.
When did you tell Mr. Crutchfield?
Late January.
Did the conversation take place on the phone or in person?
Phone.
You remember the conversation?
Didn't happen, sir. Ma'am, sorry, forgive me, Your Honor. Ma'am, it did not happen.
Okay. Well, when did you know, Mr. Crutchfield, that Mr. Kerrigan was unhappy or was not permitting his daughter to have a phone?
Never. And all the times I have bought phones over the years, probably
listen to me.
6.
I don't care. I don't care how many phones you bought her while she was living with you and her mother. Evidently, your parenting skills left a great deal to be desired, because there aren't many 16-year-olds who can't make it out of high school. And it's not as if you have 20 children that you have to supervise, only one. And the first thing that I would do if a kid was flunking out of school, not going to school, flunking all of her classes, which she clearly was if she wasn't going to school, is take away her phone. Not buy her a lot of phones, take away her phone. Take away her phone, take away her car, take away her computer, take away anything of value, anything that she can connect with other people to, because they don't play hooky alone, you see. They play hooky with friends. And they connect with their friends via their equipment. So the first thing that I would do as a responsible parent was remove the phone, which you clearly didn't do, because you said to me, I bought her lots of phones. Do you get my drift, Mr. Crutchfield?
Clearly. I'd just like to be able to finish what I'm saying as well.
Clearly. So right now, Mr. Crutchfield, you have to understand you are an interloper. You're not a stepfather. You have no status as a stepfather. You're not a biological father. For your own reasons, which I'm not going to explore right now, because I have a feeling that I wouldn't like the answer if I started to explore the reason that you sobered up, because now we're in 2015. So you have no nexus to this child other than the fact that she's lived in your home. And she probably visited your home during some period of time when you were not sober, which is, according to you, the reason for your divorce.
Not accurate, Your Honor.
Never stayed with you while you were drinking.
For a very, very brief time.
Right.
But his sequence, may I say something? His chronological order is completely unfounded. He has been lying. I haven't had an opportunity to explain
Mr. Crutchfield,
anything.
Mr. Crutchfield,
yes.
I know what your lawsuit is. Your lawsuit says that he destroyed a phone that you had purchased for her, according to you, in November of 2014. Now, my question was, how do you know that he dismantled and destroyed the phone?
I first found out through Tammy when her daughter had told her on the phone. Then she presented this phone.
Oh, just a second. So your daughter called you. He didn't have a conversation with her. Tell me about the conversation you had with your daughter.
My daughter was very upset because she said that her dad had put the phone on the floor and stepped on it and shattered it. And then she brought me the physical phone and showed it to me. And he claims he dropped it, but that's not a dropped phone.
Just a second. Did you have a conversation with your former husband about what happened to the phone? Look at me.
Yes.
That would be a natural thing. You would call him up because now she's living with him, so you'd want some communication with him and say what happened to the phone.
Yes.
And I want you to tell me because there's a common sense to this, and if it doesn't ring true with my common sense, I'm not going to believe it. I want you to tell me, you called him up and said to him, what happened to the phone?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He said he dropped it.
And what did you say to him?
I said, there's no way you dropped this phone.
And?
And he said, I dropped it. And he asked me, actually, to come in and lie to you about it because I owed him. And he said that if I didn't lie to you about it and say, yes, he dropped it, that he was going to take away from me.
Just a second. Did he ever say to you, I don't want her to have the phone?
No.
Never said that to you?
No.
Did you ever tell them that you didn't want her to have a phone?
Absolutely. In fact, there was a time that my daughter could only talk to her on my phone because I wouldn't let her have the phone, a phone at all.
When was that?
It was more than one time I had taken the phone away.
After January of 2015?
Well, actually, prior to that as well.
Okay. So as far as you were concerned, if I'm to believe you, you wanted her to have a phone. Let me make sure that I got it right. In February 2015, she called me and said, this is your sworn statement, I then received a text from Tim saying that the phone I had purchased had been dismantled.
Correct.
And that I would need to remove my daughter from my phone plan. I spoke with Tim and we had words. The conversation did not end well.
Correct.
Now, are you telling me at that time he didn't say to you, I don't want her to have a phone?
That's correct.
He didn't say that to you?
That is correct.
Then why did he tell you to remove her from the phone plan?
Because he was purchasing her at a lesser expensive phone so that she could communicate. And it would be not advantageous to me to keep her on my plan when he had her on a different plan.
So he was being nice to you?
For
so
once.
what you're telling me,
yes.
What you're trying to tell me, Mr. Crutchfield, is he was being nice to you and saying to you, I want to save you money, you can take her off your plan.
No.
I dismantled, just a second, I dismantled the phone. That's what you want me to believe?
No, I don't find it humorous at all either.
Just a second. I'm just asking you if that's what you want me to believe. That when the words that you had with him were because he said to you, I dismantled that phone, you can take her off your phone plan because I want to save you and her mother money, and I'm going to get her my own phone and put her on my plan that will be cheaper. Is that what you just told me?
No, ma'am. That's not at all close to what I spoke.
No, that's what you just told me. You want to think about that?
In a moment.
16-year-old girl was flunking out of school.
She was failing a few courses, yes, Your Honor. She was failing a few courses.
She flunked out the whole year.
Just a second. Say nothing to me.
I'm sorry.
I got it. Don't you see that I got it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Crutchfield says his stepdaughter's father, Timothy Kerrigan, purposely destroyed a phone he purchased for his stepdaughter.
Now, when you had the conversation with the defendant, he didn't say to you, I don't want her to have a phone?
That is correct. He never uttered those words, Your Honor. What I want you to believe is the truth that's coming out of my mouth, not the lies out of his.
Okay. And then we had conversations, and it didn't end well. Because he was trying to be helpful to you.
No.
I wasn't able to communicate with my daughter, and it was very distressing. I was in the hospital for 5 days due to my knee surgery, and I couldn't move. I ended up having to buy her a new phone. Why did you have to buy her a new phone if he said he was going to buy her a phone?
He didn't say he was going to buy her a phone.
You just told me he said he was going to buy her a less expensive phone and put her on a plan. That's what you just told me. You want me to play back the tape?
Purchased. I didn't say he was going to. The reason, goodness gracious, I have the text here if necessary with his words. She wanted to leave, if I could permit to just get everything out, it would be really wonderful. She wanted to leave his home. She is deathly afraid of her father.
Just a second.
Oh, God.
Explain something to me. Listen to me, Mr. Crutchfield. You can't tell me what's in her mind. You can't even tell me what she says.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
She said
No, you can't, because she's not here. You can't tell me what she said. All you have to know is a 17, a then 16-year-old girl was flunking out of school. And during that period of time that she was in high school, she was living with you and her mother.
She was failing a few courses, yes, Your Honor. She was failing a few courses.
She flunked out the whole year.
Just a second. Say nothing to me.
I'm sorry.
I got it. Don't you see that I got it?
In 2015. I don't like the way the tides are turning towards this gentleman who's falsifying evidence.
Just a second.
This is not correct.
Listen to me, sir.
Yes.
When you start out with some sort of a scam, which clearly the marriage, the divorce, and the living together for 10 years has something to do with something, and you have one child that you have to nurture, and her mother doesn't know that she's not in school because the school didn't notify her because it's somebody else's fault, right? I say to myself, Now she's got a mother, and she's got somebody who calls herself a father. He doesn't know about phones, because I've had a lot of children and 13 grandchildren. And I want to tell you something. When they start getting grades that don't look so good, I don't buy them a new iPad. Trust me on that. And I don't make it easier for them to contact their no good friends who they're playing hooky with, which is what you did, according to you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm telling you, you can't tell me what's in somebody else's mind. So if that's what you have to tell me, I'm not listening. I'm reading your text. Oh, this is a very interesting text message.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Crutchfield is accusing his stepdaughter's father, Timothy Kerrigan, of purposely destroying her phone.
Now, you bought her lots of phones.
Over the years, correct.
That's what you say. You bought her another one in November of 2014 when she was flunking out of school. That's what you said.
I didn't say she was flunking out of school.
Well, but the school said she was flunking out of school. Her mother said she was flunking out of school.
But I didn't say it.
Her mother said, well, I assume you live together. I assume you do communicate.
Yes.
Yes.
But the reason I had to buy her another phone, you asked me to answer it, and I'm trying to answer it if I may.
Ridiculous.
She was definitely...
You can't tell me that she's deathly afraid of her father. I just told you that's not evidence. I don't hear it. It calls for the operation of somebody else's mind.
Hearsay.
Do you understand? Now you understand.
I was informed it'd be pragmatic not to bring her to this court, being that you don't like pitting a child against their parent. So I didn't bring her.
Just listen to me.
I would never allow it.
Listen to me. I'm telling you, you can't tell me what's in somebody else's mind. That's not evidence. It's not admissible in a court of law, and I'm not hearing it. So if that's what you have to tell me, I'm not listening. I'm reading your text. Oh, this is a very interesting text message. It says, hey, Dean, I tried to give you a call, but I'm just going to fill you in on a couple of things real quick. One, phone is been dismantled. I don't understand the English. She no longer has service with you, so you might want to shut off the phone. Number one. That was number one. You can go back to writing or something, because this makes no sense. Number two, I sincerely hope that you have not filed with my daughter on your tax return, or there will be repercussions of that. I'm just leaving that at that. I'm not trying to threaten you or anything, but I'm just telling you that's exactly how much. Now, what is that supposed to prove to me?
It just proves that one moment, if I may do something, having to stop and do something else and answer something else. This is not a dismantled phone. This is an intentional, malicious, destroyed phone with his heel that his daughter witnessed.
That's fine, sir. I'm going to resolve this case very easily. I'm going to resolve this case very easily.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, did you buy that phone for his daughter?
Yes.
And when did you give it to her?
November 2014.
Was there an occasion?
Birthday present and a superior phone.
When is her birthday?
April. It's an $800 phone. It's going to be a combination, Christmas and birthday.
So you gave her a gift?
Correct.
Once you give a gift, you have no interest in it anymore. You have no standing to sue.
I have no interest in it.
Once you give a gift to someone, it's their gift. You have no standing to sue on behalf of this child.
I'm still paying for it.
I don't care. That's your problem. You buy a gift that you can't afford, and you're still paying for it. That's your problem. You have no standing. Once you give a gift to someone, you've lost all interest in it. If you gave it to her as a combination birthday, thank you very much. Case is over.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy...
You want to tell me why you ripped out the kitchen?
The kitchen did not work. She told me she would buy a replacement toaster that I could cook with.
Next Judge Judy.
She is terrified of her father?
Absolutely not. I could show you something on my cell phone that...
She was in a car with me, and he called her. His number came up on her phone. She curled in the embryonic position and started to cry.
She sang to me for Father's Day and the whole 9 yards.
Towards the window. She's terrified of her father.
No, she loves the death out of me. I'm a little more strict than her mom would be.
She's afraid of him. I mean, he's laid a hand on her.
It was a discipline thing, without a doubt.
It's not just discipline, it's just instilled fear.
And I've done it twice, in spanking.
I just know that everything that came out of his mouth was a falsehood.
It's just ridiculous, to be quite honest.
Call now.
Election results as they come in and the issues affecting your family on CBS 13.
Oh, so you got beat up pretty severely.
Anatomy of a bar brawl.
I could tell that he was, belligerent. When he gets on the wheel,
No better?
I said, Travis, we all love you here, but please quit. He made a fist and cocked back. And when he did, I just hit him out of instinct.
The co-owner of the bar
Yes.
said that you got what was coming to you.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Travis Burnett is suing fellow bar patron Joshua James for an assault. Joshua claims it was a drunken Travis who started the fight.
Order. All rise. It's case number 195 on the calendar, the matter of Burnett versus James.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Proceed.
Mr. Burnett, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you in a bar. Defendant says that you were the aggressor and that he was merely defending himself. Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am. I defended myself against him, ma'am.
Well, that's what I just said. What part of that weren't you listening to?
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Okay. Mr. Burnett, you want to tell me when this happened?
April 11th. It was around 12:30 at the 128 Bar and Grill.
And where is that located?
About a half mile from my house in Heavener, Oklahoma. I live outside of town.
Did you drive to the bar or did you walk?
I had a ride.
With whom?
Not a girlfriend of mine. She had called earlier, said she had gotten in a fight with her boyfriend, wanted to come over, have a couple beers. I said, fine, come on over. And then she said, well, let's go down to the bar. They're having a band tonight. I said...
Got it. So you went down with this woman?
Correct.
At about what time?
9:45, 10 o'clock, somewhere like that.
And you were there until 12:30 when this incident happened with the
12:30,
defendant?
1:45, something like that, yeah.
I assume that you had been to this bar before.
Yes, like I said, it's only a half mile.
Had you ever seen Mr. James before at the bar?
Yes, I've seen him there a couple times.
Ever had any difficulty with him?
No.
Okay, so Donna drove.
Donna drove, yes.
So she wasn't drinking?
Well, I'm sure she had a couple beers.
Yes.
We walked in. She immediately went to one part of the bar. I went to the other side of the bar and was at the other side of the bar all evening long.
So you didn't see her again?
I seen her playing pool.
Okay.
But I didn't have any interaction with her.
Hanging around together?
No.
Who were you with?
I was standing between the owner of the bar and Carrie.
Do you know the owner?
Yes.
Okay. 12:30. What happened?
I'm wondering if Donna's ready to go or she's going to wrap things up, give me a ride home. I walk over to the other side of the bar, which I hadn't been there all night in that part. I walk up to where the bar is. I see John. I can't hear him because the jukebox was so loud that I couldn't hear.
You heard him saying something. In whose direction was he looking when he was saying something?
Mine.
Yours.
I didn't hear him.
So you didn't hear what he was saying, but your impression was he was talking to you.
Correct.
Got it. Go.
I thought, in my mind, he wanted me to put some quarters up and play pool or something. So I tried to get closer to him to...
Well, why would you think that? Had you ever played pool with him before?
I believe we played pool before.
But don't look at him.
I believe we probably have.
So it was your impression that he probably just wanted to socially engage you.
Correct.
And you couldn't hear what he said, so the next thing you did was walked around?
I turned my head to try to put my ear in front of his mouth, and next thing I know, I was hit, and...
That's not what happened.
Next thing I remember, my head was kicked into the wall, and I see Josh jumping over. There's a little pony wall in between the dance floor and where the pool tables are, jumping over there, and everybody, like basically everybody in the whole bar ran out.
Ran out of the bar?
Correct.
And he ran out of the bar?
Correct.
Okay. I'd like to see the extent of your injuries. Do you have the medical records?
I have the medical bills and photos right here.
I'd like to see everything that you have.
Well, the bills amount to $5,100. They're right there.
Great. Oh, so you got beat up pretty severely. This was more than one blow or one blow?
I was kicked.
Did you see who kicked you?
I seen...
According to
I seen the shoes that he was wearing, because when I turned my head and looked down to try to hear him, I seen what shoes he had on.
All right, Mr. James, I'll hear you.
Travis is always in the bar. He's one of them belligerent drunks. He's always messing with people and everything, and I've just always avoided him. I've seen Mr. Burnett several times.
Did you ever play pool with him?
Yes, ma'am, I did. On several occasions.
Okay, so you didn't avoid him, you played pool with him.
Yes, ma'am, but when he gets on the whiskey, I've always avoided him, wasn't all the time, but, you know, sometimes.
When you think he's had too much to drink, you avoid him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me what happened on the 11th of April into the 12th of April.
Well, I went out with my friends Brad and Tori Royston. It was her birthday a few days before, so we all went out and we was going to have a couple beers and shoot some pool.
What time did you get there?
Around 9 or 10, I'm not real sure the exact time.
Had you gone to any other club before that?
No, ma'am.
So you went from whose home?
They picked me up at my house.
Okay, it was between 9 and 10 that you got there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was the plaintiff there already when you got there?
Yes, he was.
And you saw him?
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
As soon as we got there, we immediately went sitting over there, and I could tell that he was, you know, belligerent, and he was automatically telling everybody how to shoot pool, and he was womanizing all the women and stuff in there, and this went on for about 30 minutes, and Tori asked me several times, you know, would you please say something to him? He's you know, offending me, and I said, just let it go, you know, he's always like this, and, you know, I've just always kind of let him, what he says, you know, just kind of go off my shoulders and stuff. Well, he kept saying stuff, and...
Like what stuff?
Pardon my French, but he'd say, do you need somebody to come up there and show you how to shoot the game and all this? I'm sorry. He'd say stuff like, you're shooting the wrong ball, you know, and all this, stuff like that. And I just, like I said, I let it, you know, go off my shoulders for a long time. And then finally I said, Travis, we all love you here, but please, you're offending everybody. So he gets up and comes about far from me to you with his hand cocked back, and he runs up on me, and I'm already backed in the corner. So I just kind of, you know, braced myself like this, and he said, what'd you say? And I said, Travis, we all love you here, but please quit. He said, I'm fixing to whoop your... And I said, Travis, I don't want to do this. Please quit. And then Travis puts his nose up against my nose, pushes me so hard with his nose that I have to take a step back. And I'm in the corner then. And I said, Travis, I'm going to tell you one more time, please quit. And when I said it, I just hit him out of instinct. And he fell across a bunch of bar stools and stuff, and we left.
Well, where did you hit him?
In the face somewhere.
Did you kick him?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Did anybody else kick him?
No, ma'am, not that I know of, no, ma'am.
So the blow to his eye that is evidenced in this picture is from the one blow that you struck to his eye.
I'm not even sure if I hit him in the eye.
Well, somebody hit him in the eye.
He fell on bar. There's a big rail right there on the bar, ma'am, and then there's little bar stools everywhere, and then it's even some steps right there. So I don't know. I didn't watch where he fell or anything. I just...
Okay. And you two were present? Yes. Why don't you stand up? Tell me your last name.
Royston.
Go ahead.
He is correct about the belittling women that for hours. It was
like what?
Like, what were you doing at the pool table when I went to shoot? And anytime I went to shoot, it was something along that line. That's so stupid. Oh my God. Why they let women up here on and on? Then it went to Josh. And it went to anyone who was shooting at the table. And the pony table is just right there, and here's the pool table. And when all of this took place, he didn't walk. He ran around the bar and approached him aggressively. I mean, and he is correct. He was in a corner. And what he fell on, I'm assuming, because I know what was there.
Had you ever had any difficulty with a plaintiff before?
I didn't even know who it was. He did. I didn't. But he I'd say at least 8 times said, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Mm-hmm. And it was to no avail.
Thank you. Stand up, sir. Up here. Your last name is?
Royston.
You were together?
Yes.
Had you heard the plaintiff during the evening commenting on the way people were playing pool?
Yes, it was pretty...
Did anybody ask him to stop?
Josh asked him to stop, and that's when it all happened.
What exactly did he say to him?
He told him that we all love you here, but you need to stop talking this way. I couldn't really hear it, too, because of the jukebox, but he told him...
Well, if you really couldn't hear, are you just repeating what he said, or did you hear him?
No, I heard him say to the face. I didn't hear all the words, but it said, stop talking to everybody like this. You know, you just need to sit down and be quiet, or it's that point.
And did you see the plaintiff do anything?
Yes, he jumped right up off there, stomped around that pool table, got right up in his his face, had his nose to his, like he's saying, and backed him up in the corner very aggressively. Yeah.
See. These three people tell a totally different story from you.
Yes, they certainly do, because I had not been up by the pool table all evening.
Well, you were sitting next to the owner of the bar, is that right?
On the complete opposite side.
Where is the owner of the bar? Why didn't you bring the owner of the bar to all that evening, sir? You know that you had been drinking.
I had a witness that was supposed to come, and then she decided she wanted to go to a football game instead.
Well, that would tell you how
I have a police report. Would you like to see that?
Absolutely. Well, the only thing here, sir, other than the same story that you told me without any support from anybody else, is a statement from the owner of the bar's girlfriend. The owner of the bar said that he had gone to sleep, so we didn't even know there was a fight. But his girlfriend, who was the co-owner of the bar, said that you got what was coming to you.
She didn't see that. And
I don't know what she saw. You gave me the police report.
Yes. When I went down there and confronted her as soon as I got that police report and asked her why she said that.
You can't tell me that.
You're right.
Bring her. Bring the owner.
Well, people have to agree to come here.
I understand that. They agreed to come.
Yeah, they did.
And you had your friend, who you were very nice to, whose name was Donna.
Yeah.
She could have come.
Yeah.
The owner could have come.
If they would have come, yes.
If they would have.
They're not interested in getting involved.
Well, how do I know that?
Yeah.
How do I know that?
And later today,
while she was taking a bite of her breakfast sandwich, she had an accident with the rental car.
She basically stole the keys without my permission.
Yeah, I know. That's what you said. That's not what I think happened.
closed captioning is provided by
Your gut. It's your engine, your digestive core. So why settle for just any probiotic? Ultimate Flora by Renew Life has 30 billion cultures. Feel lighter, more energized, and happier. Ultimate Flora. More power to your gut.
Introducing Kisses Deluxe Chocolates. With a whole roasted hazelnut, delicate crisps, and layers of rich, creamy chocolate, they're twice the size of the Kisses chocolates you love. Say more with new Kisses Deluxe.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Travis Burnett says Joshua James assaulted him during an argument at a bar. Joshua claims a drunken Travis was belligerent.
Now, if I believe them, you precipitated this confrontation.
If you were to believe them, yes.
I do believe them. So did the district attorney.
He said if I give
So don't tell me because they didn't prosecute him.
No, he said I need one more witness.
You don't need one more witness, sir. If the district attorney believed that you were the victim of an unprovoked assault, the district attorney files a proceeding and lets a jury make that determination. They didn't even arrest him.
You're correct.
I am correct. So don't drink. You probably are a nasty drunk. You probably are a nasty drunk, and if you can't hold your alcohol, if you're not a friendly, cuddly drunk, don't drink. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Please excuse me. Step out.
Well, she's right. I didn't have any...
He's a regular guy there.
...cooperating witnesses as he brought.
This is a reoccurring event with him.
But I told the truth.
I mean, I really feel sorry for the guy.
But he had witnesses that backed him up saying...
I don't have nothing against the guy, but...
Things that, you know, didn't happen also.
I felt like I did what I had to do to protect myself and protect my friends.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Smith versus Malloy. Step forward.
Emmanuel Smith is suing former friend Emily Malloy for driving his rental car without permission and wrecking it.
This is some nonsense about you renting a car and the defendant, who was, according to you, an on and off girlfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
And while you were sleeping, took the keys to the car and went out to get some breakfast. And while she was taking a bite of her breakfast sandwich, she had an accident with the rental car. Is that what happened?
Your Honor, she basically stole the keys without my permission.
Yeah, I know. That's what you said. That's not what I think happened. You have the car, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a car that's registered in your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
What kind of car do you have?
A Nissan Altima.
What year?
2011.
Nice car.
Yes.
Then what did you need a rental car for?
I needed to repair the brakes on my vehicle, and I needed a vehicle to drive while I was doing that.
So you rented this car for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the bill for the brakes on your car to show me?
I was actually doing the brake repair myself.
Good answer. You have the receipts for the parts.
I do not have those with me.
Right. How many times had you rented a car in the past and let her drive?
I never have, Your Honor.
Never?
No.
Is that true?
Yes.
No, of course not. Now, you want to tell me the circumstances surrounding you driving this rental car?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, how many times do you have to fix the brakes on your car?
At times, I'm without a vehicle, so I drive a rental car.
Tell me a story, then I'll give you my ruling, and then I'm going to lunch.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Emmanuel Smith says former friend Emily Malloy drove his rental car without permission and wrecked it. Emily claims Emmanuel rented the car for her to drive.
Now, you want to tell me the circumstances surrounding you driving this rental car?
Mr. Smith did rent the car for me.
You went with him?
Yes.
From what company did he rent the car?
I don't remember the name of the company. I apologize, but I do know that we picked it up from the airport.
Was there any reason you were at the airport, or is that just the outlet where you picked up the rental car from?
It's just the outlet.
And had you ever picked up a car from that outlet before, because he had rented a car for you before?
Yes.
So from the same outlet?
Yes.
Was it Enterprise, Dollar, Hertz? What was the name of the company?
Avis Budget.
How many times had he rented a car from Avis Budget at the airport for you?
I don't know the exact number, but it was at least twice.
In what period of time?
In about a 3-month span.
And how would you pay him for renting the car for you?
I would pay him cash.
How much?
It varied, but it ranged from about $100 to $200. It also depended on how long I had the vehicle. And I also had children that I needed to pick up from my ex-husband.
So if I called Avis Budget, they would tell me that Mr. Smith, that is your real name, is it not?
Yes, ma'am.
With the Social Security number that we have on file, rented a car from this Avis Budget at least twice within a 3-month period.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right, Mr. Smith?
Your Honor, I bought cars.
That's not my question, Mr. Smith. If I were to call Avis Budget and give them your name and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number and or driver's license, would they tell me that you had rented a car there 2 times within a 3-month period?
I've rented vehicles for myself.
From this company within a 3-month period? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Now, how many times do you have to fix the brakes on your 2011 car?
I also buy vehicles from auctions to resell. So
and?
At times, I'm without a vehicle, so I drive rental cars.
Okay. All right, tell me a story, then I'll give you my ruling, and then I'm going to lunch.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook.
For yourself, and she stayed over at your house, and while you were sleeping, she stole the keys to your car, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she had an accident with the car, and because she wasn't supposed to be driving the car, you never added her on as a driver, because that costs more money when you add somebody's name as a driver.
That's correct.
Right, so you didn't add her name as a driver. And when she had the accident, they are now coming after you for the damages to the car because the car is not insured.
The car was insured.
But not with her driving.
She was never supposed to drive it.
That's your story. She says you rented the car for her. You've done it for her in the past. You were supposed to put her name on as another driver, and you didn't do it because she has no credit and she can't get a rental car herself. That's your story.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's this?
This is my witness. She was at my house the night that she stole the keys from me.
Who is she?
A friend of mine.
What was she doing at the house?
We went back to my house after we returned from the rental car place.
What was she doing at your house that night?
She hangs out at my house every once in a while.
What were you doing at his house?
I was not at his house. He actually drove me to the rental car company. And from the rental car company, I went to my mother's house. Well, almost made it to my mother's house.
When was the last time you dated? The two of you?
We never dated.
The defendant, Emily Malloy, and I dated on and off for a little over a year. That's what he says.
That's not true.
Well, then...
Brother, but we were just friends.
Just friends. Anybody else want to tell me about this nonsense? Okay. Case is dismissed, that's all. I don't believe you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
What'd you quit your job for?
I didn't quit my job.
You got fired?
Yes.
You're supposed to be responsible. You don't buy a car for $10,000 and the next day do something to get fired from your job.
Judge Judy.
I have assumed responsibility for the accident itself,
The girl stole my keys, and she went up the street and got in a wreck.
but his story was a complete lie. I did not steal that vehicle.
No, I was asleep.
I know I wrecked it, but I was under the impression that I was covered
She called me, and that's whenever I found out
under the insurance policy.
that I stole the keys, and I wrecked the rental car.
Unfortunately, we are not friends any longer, and
We're not friends.
with the way that he's been acting, it's for the best.
His landlord wasn't surprised he left.
Did you tell her you were moving?
Absolutely. I'm a good tenant.
It was his remodeling job that stunned her.
You want to tell me why you ripped out the kitchen?
The kitchen did not work. She told me that if I could get a kitchen master to put in the unit that I could cook with.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. The circa Margaret Richter is suing her former tenant, 25-year-old Eric Look, for unpaid rent and for tearing apart her kitchen before he moved out.
Order. All rise. Yeah, it's case number 121 on the calendar in the matter of Richter versus Look.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Look, how old are you?
I'm 25.
What do you do to keep yourself busy?
I'm currently in excavating.
Excavating?
Yes.
Excavating for whom?
For a friend of mine who has been working for 20 years.
What do you excavate?
Recently, the most recent thing I did was a in-ground trampoline.
Do you do this part-time or full-time, Mr.
Full-time.
Look? Full-time. How much do you earn a week?
About 300 to 400.
What do you mean about 300 or 400? What does that mean?
Depending on how much work the business has at the moment.
And how long have you been working for your friend whose name is?
His name is Mark.
How long has he been in business?
He's been doing it for about 20 years.
And you've been working for him? Mr. Look, why are you playing with me, sir? What have you been doing to support yourself for the last year?
I've worked in kitchens, primarily.
Where?
In Park City. There's a place called Bistro 412.
And how long did you work there, Mr. Look?
About 3 months.
From what month to what month?
November to January.
Were you paid on the books or off the books?
On the books.
So that there's a record of that?
Yes.
And so that accounts for 3 months of the year. Where else did you work?
I also worked at the Chocolate Factory, which is on Main Street, on the same Main Street as the Bistro.
And when did you work there?
November to December. Excuse me, January.
You overlapped? You worked at two places?
I worked both jobs, yeah.
Really? You're making it up as you're going along, but I'm having a good time. But I'm having a good time with you, Mr. Look. Let's get to the plaintiff. How did you find her studio to rent?
Through a friend.
What's the friend's name?
Conan.
Had he rented from her?
Yes.
Had he rented that studio from her?
Yes.
Had he rented it from her immediately prior to your renting it from her?
Yes.
Had you been there before to visit with your friend, Conan?
I had, yes.
So you knew what the condition of the place was?
Yes.
Yes. And you decided to rent her place in what month?
January.
January of 2015?
Yes.
And January of 2015, so far I haven't heard you having a job.
I held a job through January.
Through
Both of those jobs that I just listed, the Bistro and the
Through
Chocolate.
January?
Correct.
Okay.
At a place called Vertical Diner in Salt Lake City.
Doing what?
No. Booster Juice.
Oh my gosh, Booster Juice.
Where did you work in February?
I worked at Booster Juice for 2 months.
Okay. Now, your friend Conan lived in the studio that was owned by Miss Richter. You had been there before to visit. You decided to rent. And how much was the rent?
$750 per month.
Who lived there with you?
No one.
Good. So the first month that you were there, you had the rent because you were working.
Yes.
Then you were working also, according to you, maybe not as much. And you paid the rent in February.
Absolutely.
And you were there in March.
Correct.
And you worked a little in March, and you were able to pay the rent.
Absolutely.
So far, correct, Miss Richter?
Yes.
Paid the rent in March. So you moved from Park City
Yep.
to
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake City. So that's why you left her residence.
Yes.
Did you tell her you were moving?
Absolutely.
When did you tell her you were moving?
March 13th.
Good. Shh, shh, shh. Now I'd like you to tell me why you took her kitchen with you.
So I moved into the apartment under the understanding.
Don't tell me no understanding. You're moving out beginning of April. You notify her according to you. She disputes it, but I'm believing everything you're saying to me, Mr. Look. You notify her March 13th that you're moving. You're moving because you're moving. I know you said she was going to put in a new kitchen. She didn't, and it was terrible, whatever. But I want you to tell me why you, such a busy young man that holds down 2 jobs, why you would rip out the car. You know, I'm not going to get legitimate answers from her. I see that right now.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. This circa Margaret Richter says former tenant Eric Look moved out owing for rent. She also claims he ripped out her kitchen before he left.
Now, things don't make sense. They're not true. You don't tell somebody that you're moving out and give them notice on March 13th and 6 days before rip out their entire kitchen because you want a toaster oven. Because you don't look like you're on drugs. He's not on drugs, is he?
No.
Not on drugs, is he? You don't take any prescribed medication for
No.
any mental illness?
No.
Well, then if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Now, he ripped out the kitchen probably because he sold it for scrap. I don't know what he did with it. I don't care what he did with it. He had no right to touch your kitchen unless you told him to take out your kitchen. He wanted to show me a picture of the kitchen, and it wasn't something that was so awful because he saw what it was like before he moved in when he visited Conan.
This is before
Conan, right?
When the kitchen was
Conan.
still there.
May I see it, please?
Yeah, the condo. Where the plumbing was connected, where the sink was connected, he didn't shut off the valve correctly, so the water leaked all over the condo, and there are 2 blankets absorbing the water underneath. That is how we found it.
What did you do with all the stuff that you took out of here, and who took it out? Who took it out, and what did you do with it?
I took out the kitchen, and I put it in the dumpster, and then it was removed.
Which dumpster?
The apartment complex dumpster.
Okay, did you ascertain where the kitchen went to?
No, I didn't know where it went.
Okay.
No.
Did you ever find out where it went?
No.
Well, then let me ask you, did I read something here? Maybe. You say I tracked the kitchen and bed to a recycle yard.
Okay.
That's what you say in your complaint.
That's right. Well, what happened was when I found that the kitchen was missing...
Don't look down there. Look over here.
Okay. The maintenance man said, go down to the recycle yard.
God, people are so full of baloney.
So I went to the recycle yard, and I was looking to see if I could see parts of my kitchen there. And there was a man named Neil there. He says, you know,
anything else? I'm not interested in the rest of your story as you're making up as you're going on, as you're going along. I'm really not interested. Okay. He says he gave you notice on March 13th.
Voice call.
When did you move out?
April 1st.
You moved out on April 1st?
I was out the night before.
Okay, fine. And you left her a note by voicemail?
Not voicemail. I called her. We spoke on the phone.
Okay. And what date did he give you notice that he was moving?
April 13th. It's on my text.
I'd like to see it.
He texted me on April 13th when he didn't pay rent April 1st. By April 6th, he still didn't pay rent. And he said it was just sitting in his car, on the seat of this car. Has been there for 2 weeks.
Oh, it says, what's going on, Eric? And he says, I left. You have my security deposit. How much was your security deposit?
It was $200. Per our agreement, if I moved out before 6 months had elapsed, she would keep the security deposit. And if I stayed more than 6 months, I would be able to retrieve it.
Okay, your rent was $750. I find that you were there beyond the date that you say that you were there, and I find that you did not give her notice on March 13th, because otherwise she wouldn't have said to you, what's going on, Eric? And you said, I left. You have my security deposit. So your rent was $750. She has your security deposit, which was $200, leaving $550. And, you know, she's not going to get $5,000 to redo this kitchen. So you put in a stove and everything else for $1,500. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all. Thank you.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
It was actually a really huge mess. I just didn't have a chance to say everything. Was missing or wrecked.
I helped them out by doing the manual labor to get it out.
I wish him luck. He was a good kid. Other than that,
take a lot of pictures and make sure your contract is solid.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nuruddin versus Hampton. Step forward.
23-year-old Khadija Nuruddin is suing her sister's ex-boyfriend, Puri Hampton, for the return of money she paid for a car.
How old are you, Miss Nuruddin?
23.
This is what the case is about. You saved up $1,700. Mr. Hampton was in a brokerage business. He found cars for people. You knew him from before?
He's my nephew's father.
So you knew him from
family,
before?
Basically.
And you gave him the $1,700 to get you a car?
Yes.
On what date did you give him the $1,700 to get you?
February the 2nd. I'm sorry.
And he got you a car?
Yes.
On what date?
I don't remember which day, but it was a few days after February the 2nd.
So let's say February 5th.
Yes.
And he gave you the car?
He gave it to my little sister.
Who gave it to you?
Yes.
And you took it?
Yes.
And you drove it?
No.
Well, you say you drove it. You say it broke down.
I drove the second one. I didn't drive the first one. 2 cars broke down.
Just a second. You say in your complaint that you got the first car and the car broke down within the first few days.
Yes.
Which means that you drove it. No matter who drove it. You accepted the car that he got for you, and either you or somebody drove it, and it broke down.
Yes.
But he was a nice guy, and he said, I'll get you another car, right?
Yes.
Right. And he got you another car.
Barely.
He got you another car that you took.
I didn't have a choice but to take it.
Listen, let's not play with each other. He got you another car that you took.
Yes.
On what date?
My little sister picked up the car. I didn't pick up the car.
I don't care who picked up the car as your agent.
In March.
You know, I'm not going to get legitimate answers from her. I see that right now.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When did you drive it?
Anytime I had to go to work, but I always had a driver with me in the car.
Because you don't have a driver's license.
I have a permit.
You don't have a driver's license.
In the state of Pennsylvania, you don't need one to drive.
You don't have a driver's license.
No, I do not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Khadija Nureddin says her sister's ex-boyfriend, Pari Hampton, owes for the return of money she paid for a car.
Now, on what date did he get you a second car?
It was early March. I don't remember the date.
How long did you keep the first car?
I still have it. It's in front of my house.
The first car is?
No, the first car was a few weeks.
How long did you keep the first car?
A few weeks after it broke down.
And then he got you a second car?
Yes.
That you still have?
Yes.
And he got that car in March?
Yes.
And you told your sister she could drive it?
She was driving it.
She was driving it?
Yes, she's the one that picked it up from him.
And did you ever drive it?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes, yes. When did you drive it?
In March.
How much of March?
Anytime I had to go to work, but I always had a driver with me in the car.
Because you don't have a driver's license.
I have a permit.
You don't have a driver's license.
In the state of Pennsylvania, you don't need one to drive.
You don't have a driver's license.
No, I do not.
Now, when you don't have a driver's license, Mr. Hampton, can you register a car?
No.
So this is what the case is about. You have the second car that he was nice enough to get you. You haven't registered it, and you want your $1,700 back.
I cannot register it.
So I have the following question for you. If you don't have a driver's license, how are you supposed to register a car, and why were you driving it?
Okay, my little sister, she's in college. She has her license. She was supposed to register. Then she got her income tax check, and then the whole plan changed. She wasn't registering anymore. And I can't get this car registered. I have proof right here that there are taxes unpaid on this car, and you can't register it.
Because there are what?
Taxes unpaid. It says it's on the title. And I called him, and I said, what am I supposed to do? Because I have the proof right here.
Listen to me. Is the car that he got you in March drivable?
No.
Then you get no money back. Because I was going to say, you know what, Mr. Hampton, he's a really nice guy. He got you one car, it broke down. He got you a second car that you and your sister drove. March, April, who knows how long in May, until the second car broke down. And now that it's broken down, you want your money back. So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. This is what we're going to do. You have the car fixed.
I can't even get it registered.
Listen to me. You have the car fixed because it was drivable when he gave it to you.
Hardly.
And if you want... You said you drove... Listen to me. You said you drove it to work every day, but you always had somebody with you because you only have a permit. Listen to me. You're not getting your money back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, when you can return to him a drivable car like the one he gave to you, he'll give you your money back because he'll say, I can sell it to somebody else for $1,700. You drove the car with your sister for at least 3 months. Now it doesn't run anymore.
Your Honor, I called him repeatedly during those 3 months saying, Paris, what I'm supposed to do, this is wrong, that is wrong, that is wrong. My neighbor, I have his number and everything. I had to pay out of pocket for him to fix things on the car. The valve had to be replaced.
He's not a guarantor of the car. You buy a used car from somebody, they sell you a used car as is. What are you calling him for and telling him to fix a $1,700 car?
So the first car, the engine, wires were popping out the engine between a few first days.
Listen to me. If you couldn't register the car, you shouldn't have driven it. And then you return it to him and say, you know what? I can't register the car because there are problems. Yeah, your case is dismissed. That's all. You know you have no case.
Whatever, Judge.
Whatever.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
The little dog darted into your garage.
Our lab mix actually swooped it up and had it in her mouth.
Who offered to pay half the vet bills?
Amanda did.
That was really nice of him. You should have taken it.
Judge Judy.
He's a liar.
She mad at